This same party will not even vote later today, against and condemn the violence at pregnancy centers across the country.
Those who support abortions ignore the fact that another life is involved.
A Republican-led majority keeps our commitment to America by voting on legislation that upholds the sanctity of life.
This is not a debate about political violence. Political violence and the violent rhetoric that drives it is a persistent threat. Our colleagues across the aisle continue to say the quiet part out loud in their selective contempt for political violence.
Abortion bans impact and endanger the lives of many of our residents.
It's a one-sided resolution meant to fan the flames of anti-abortion and anti-freedom sentiment in this country.
We didn't hop in a time machine back to the 1970s. It's 2023, and we all know what this is about. It is not about the protection of newborn children. It's about control. It's about Republicans' continued desire to control women, take away their freedoms, limit their bodily autonomy, plunge poor women deeper into poverty, and further marginalize those already not seen.
As someone whose birth mother made the brave and difficult decision to put me up for adoption, I recognize that that decision was deeply personal and can often mark one of the most vulnerable points in a person's life. No one should take advantage of that, and the federal government should actually protect it. I will continue to fight for civil rights, personal freedom, and bodily autonomy of women and childbearing adults in this country, and I hope the rest of this chamber will join me in voting no.
It's about intimidating, silencing, and criminalizing doctors. It's about the nationwide abortion ban that Republicans have been itching to enact since the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Bans that the American people have said loudly and clearly that they do not want. We cannot continue to let the extreme Republican Party attack and erode the rights of women across this country. We have a responsibility to put an end to politicians inserting themselves into the doctors' offices and uteruses of women across this country.
In November, Mr. Speaker, access to abortion care was on the ballot, and the American people rejected the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe and refused to allow far-right extremists to take away their right to bodily autonomy. Voters in Vermont, in the Speaker's home state of California, and in my home state of Michigan, codified abortion rights in their state constitution. And voters in Montana, as well as Kentucky, where Senator Mitch McConnell's home state is, rejected attempts to restrict their access to reproductive freedom.
This resolution seeks to deny necessary medical care from those who seek it. Abortion is health care and a fundamental human right. Across the nation, those seeking care are met with intimidation, violence, and even loss of life. Imagine walking through a screaming crowd to get to a medical appointment. Imagine being a doctor or a nurse, dedicating your life to helping others, and day after day your workplace receives violent threats and you fear for your life. But that is not what the other side of the aisle is concerned about. No, today, they are seeking to mislead the American people. They are trying to conjure up hateful rhetoric, spreading misinformation about crisis pregnancy centers. Let me make it plain. Crisis pregnancy centers are no place to go to for reproductive health care.